I would like you to assess the initiative which the government has taken for creating employment in our country. Do you think that they are reasonable enough? They are enough to meet the demand which suddenly has gone up as far as employment is concerned? Pollution is not an one standalone event. It is a recurring event, and vehicular pollution has been identified as one of the biggest culprits. We have been trying so many initiatives. We have tried initiatives in the form of older cars being phased out, in terms of odd even, in terms of change of fuel, going to the electrical vehicles. I suppose you have to tell me two set of measures to control vehicular pollution. One, that can bring about some immediate change and something that we can aim for in the long run. Two set of solutions, immediate ones and the long-term solutions, controlling the vehicular pollution. Physician assisted killing or euthanasia has been a major point of discussion for decades now. There are countries like UK, which has recently voted in favor of physician assisted killing with lots of safeguards. Do you think that India is also ready to go for some such enactment, especially uh, the passive euthanasia, which has been already acknowledged in our country? Do you think that we are at a position where we can possibly think of a right to termination of one's own life should be granted? We have a word quite often being used these days about fetal viability. The provision of the medically assisted termination of pregnancy has had a long debate of ethical dilemma. I suppose I would like to have your views in this backdrop on the rights of the unborn child. What is your stand on this, and what is the legal status that we have on it?
What are the implications of India surpassing China as the most populous country in 2024?
Same-sex marriage is a topic which is discussed world over, India being no exception to this. The matter came before the Honorable Supreme Court, and we haven't had much clarity as yet on it. I would like to seek your opinion on the same sex marriage. Where do you stand and why you take a particular position, if at all you have taken one?
India recently signed trade agreements with several countries. How will these benefit India's economy and trade balance?
Microfinance is very much needed for a country like India, which has huge potentials, which is existing in all corners of the country. But then, when you go for this fintech companies, we quite often find that lots of compromises are happening, especially when app-based credit support is concerned. I would like to hear out your views about the challenges that these companies bring when they use app and then give finances to the people. what kind of privacy in particular that gets exposed in availing of those supports of this nature or the loans of this nature.
How can India tackle the rising issue of youth unemployment?
We often hear the word end-to-end encryption. I would like to explain to me as what this end-to-end encryption means. Are we surrendering too much of our private information to the bots or the system? Imagine if the system some days wants to play a trick, especially with the growing AI and their intervention in our everyday life. What kind of serious problem we are preparing ourselves for in the future? I would like you to explain this particular phenomenon of surrendering too much of our personal data in the name of end-to-end encryption and maybe exposing ourselves to the machine more than we should have wanted. I would like to hear out your views on that.